It's been pretty eventful summer for you.
Yeah, my life has moved along quicker than I thought it would the last year or two. Getting married last summer and then having a kid, having a new contract and all of it. So it's been cool. It's awesome to know that, especially having the kid now, that we can hopefully buy a house and know that we're going to be in Anaheim for 7 years now. So it's been cool summer. A lot of different things going on.
Is it a relief to know that you have the security, you have the contract, you can kind of go out and play free?
Yeah, I mean, I think all hockey players, when they're pressing for points or whatever, especially when you're playing in kind of a contract year and you're worried about your stat line and all that, is when it almost gets harder to produce and you're gripping your stick a little bit. So to be able to know that I'll be there and be able to kind of focus on the young kids coming up and just kind of the organization moving forward and not have to stress too much about the points, which I know my job is to produce, but that's usually when I've learned with myself is when I'm not pressing for it, is when I'm more relaxed and the points usually come.
When you come out to an event like this, does it kind of appreciate, you can look and see like, yeah, I've come a long way, there's a lot of people who have helped me on that journey?
Yeah, I mean, I think even it's awesome that we won another championship, but we weren't even the most recent championship anymore. We're 2 back, and seeing all the and I skate with them all summer at DU, so I'm with the college kids now, and I don't know any of them anymore other than meet them in the summer. So I am starting to feel a little older now, but that's why I mentioned I kept my beard today so I could look a little older. But just to see like the alums and the guys that came before me and everyone is fun to see. It's a big family here at DU, so it's fun to have this kind of day.
A lot of changes coming to Anaheim. What have you heard about Greg Cronin as a coach?
Yeah, I've heard he's honest. I've heard he's fair. I had the chance to, right after he got the job, he came back to then drive back out east because he was here. So I got to meet with him for a few hours and just kind of pick his brain. I think what he brings from a culture and locker room standpoint and accountability is what we need as a team, and it's something I'm really excited for. The part that I was really impressed by was just his hockey knowledge, like talking hockey with him, and the way he sees the games and little intricacies and all that was, we sat there for, felt like 30 minutes, but it was probably 2 or 3 hours just talking hockey. So it was nice to kind of see the game the same way as him, and also I know he's going to bring a sense of accountability to our locker room, and we have a young group, so it'll be good.
You mentioned the young group, and it was a big year at the draft as well for Anaheim. Where do you see this team going, the direction that they're taking now?
Yeah, I think, I mentioned it, but I think when you have this young group, and I'm still a young player, but I feel like I'm kind of one of the the leaders of that young core. So it starts with me and Tigris, and then the older guys we have that know what it's like to win and all that. So it starts with just building the locker room, the kind of culture that we want. I think young players get used to whatever culture and environment they come into, and it's on us to make sure that it's one of accountability and being positive and not complaining about practice or all that stuff, and just make sure that we're unified as a group. And then on ice, I think we have some young players that could be really dynamic, and I hope that they do take those strides that I expect them to.
In talking about culture, someone that comes to mind is Jim Montgomery, big summer winning the Jack Adams. I was curious if there was something that stood out to you in his approach to coaching that had a really big impact on you as a player.
Yeah, I think from what I've heard is Greg actually coached Monty at Maine. and I know that they're similar in the way that they see the game. And it was something I talked with Greg about, kind of an intricacy of hockey, but we call it reloading. Basically, when you're in the offensive zone, the puck gets turned over. You don't kind of hang around and hope that we get it back. You as soon as the puck's turned over, your first 5 steps are right back towards your end, and that's something that Greg was very complimentary to me of, and it's something that was instilled from Monty. So I think it's something they both appreciate, and something that just a little thing that Monty kind of instilled in me as a player when I was in college.
And what is it about these alumni events and DU Pro Camp that brings players back year after year?
Yeah, I think, having pro camp last week, it's becoming kind of something that people are flying in for, and just the level of, players that we have here that are living in Colorado is I think at a really high level right now, and then you've got guys that, played for the Avs or whatever, spent some time here that, want to come back and be in Denver and be around, this group. And I think it speaks to, I've said the word culture a lot in this interview, but I think it speaks to the culture of just DU. And, we show up and get our work done. And, pro camp is kind of the chance to, reset yourself. And it feels like, training camp's coming after pro camp. So I think it's becoming something that people are coming to from out of state. We all look forward to here. So I think David did a great job. So I'm excited with where pro camp and even this event, seeing everyone has gone.